Hey guys, unusual vlog today. I'm going to talk about cryptocurrencies. I'm going to give you some perspective on things, and this is actually related to the entrepreneurial side of this channel because as an entrepreneur, well, not just an entrepreneur, anybody involved really, you have to understand all the investment possibilities out there. You have to understand how to value things and how to perceive where the market is going so that when you start making money, as a developer, as a small business owner, no matter what type of business you get into, you'll be wise enough about what to do with your money in terms of investment, because investment is such an important part about becoming financially independent, and also just in terms of your ability to assess where markets might be going so you can direct your entrepreneurial activities in a particular direction or another, whether you are a coder or not. So I decided to do this vlog because I got a post in Facebook, or I saw something on Facebook where somebody mentioned how just then a friend of his lost $10,000 trying to sell a cryptocurrency into the marketplace, just trying to sell it. The cryptocurrency was LTC, Litecoin. I don't think that's relevant which cryptocurrency it was. What's relevant is that a very simple transaction, like just trying to sell your currency, your coin, currency in quotes, caused them to lose all the money. Now, one of the things that proponents of cryptocurrencies talk about is how it's so much better than traditional banking. Maybe in some ways, but in the end, maybe in some ways. But right now, one big advantage of banking is if you try to sell your US dollars, your Canadian dollars, your yen, whatever, you try to sell your British pounds, and there's a little screw up, you're not going to lose all your money. You know, to me, that's a big advantage, you know what I mean? Now, criminal elements love the idea of cryptocurrencies because they can hide everything that they do, which, I suppose if you're a criminal, that's kind of a good thing, I suppose. In terms of criminality, morality aside, there are so many legitimate ways that you can make a lot of money by providing actual services, providing actual product that people want, that you don't really need to be a criminal. Criminal is kind of I was going to use a profanity to describe these people, but it's kind of a wimpy way out if you ask me. So anyway, that aside, let's get back into it. So another problem that I see with the cryptocurrencies these days is that they're meant to replace traditional currencies in some form or another. The problem is that as far as I can understand, even with the small volume that you see in these cryptocurrencies, like in terms of you take all the cryptocurrency transactions, put them together, and it represents a tiny fraction, nothing, in which you would need these things to be able to do, to be able to replace traditional banking, traditional currencies. And even at this tiny little volume that they have, whether it be Ethereum or Bitcoin, they're tanking already under the stress. Now, I don't have all the details and all the numbers, but for instance, for example, Bitcoin takes 10 minutes to settle a transaction. Well, when I do a credit card payment, it's instant. So that's a failing of Bitcoin. So now they came out with Bitcoin Cash to try to alleviate that. Who knows where that's going to go. Ethereum too. Apparently this game came out, CryptoKitty, I think it's called. And CryptoKitty apparently caused problems for the Ethereum network. Just a bunch of CryptoKitties. Again, I question how these coins as they stand now, as they are engineered now, how are they going to actually fulfill their ultimate role in some point? And they will at some point. But as far as I can tell, the structure of these coins, they're not capable of doing it. Now, there may be exceptions, and I'm no expert in all these things, that's clear. But at the end of the day, I look at all these cryptocurrencies as, I'm talking to programmers here, developers, they're alpha code. They are alpha applications. It's kind of like the early days of web app servers, and people are trying to figure out which way to do it, how to do it good, how to do it bad. And there's a lot of web app servers that have disappeared into the dust. You know, they don't exist anymore. And I would imagine 99%, if not all, cryptocurrencies will disappear into the dust. What you have here with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and the rest of them, SIA and all the others, you have alpha apps, alpha software, people experimenting with things. And then why are these things going up in value? They're going up in value simply because people think they're going up in value. There is no intrinsic value to Bitcoin. There's no intrinsic value to Litecoin, ethereum. There's no value to them except that people think there is value to them. And we've seen these type of bubbles, these type of manias many times in history. And there's been the dot-com bubble. Think about the dot-com era. I was around during that time, and I know guys who had become dot-com millionaires from investment, but then they didn't sell in time and they lost everything and then went into debt because they were leveraged. There were many, many dot-com companies out there that no longer exist. The vast majority, only a few exist still today, that you hear of today from that period of time. Keep that in mind. This is very recent history. Look at U.S. housing from 1996 to 2008. They went bonkers and then they crashed. They recovered to a certain extent, but again, a very recent bubble. But at least with a house, you can live in a house, and there's a cost, there's a utility of a house. I'm not sure if there's much utility at this point with any of these cryptocurrencies. And the fact that people can create a new cryptocurrency relatively easily, and they can look at the flaws of the old cryptocurrencies and create better cryptocurrencies, I'm not sure why would you want to buy an older, flawed cryptocurrency when you can buy a brand new one that's better. There have been many other asset manias in the history of the world, many others. And there's one thing you should take away from all these asset manias, is that they are psychological manias. They're literally driven by psychology, not fundamentals. I've lived through a few of them: dot-com bubble, housing bubble, and I've seen the gold and silver bubble, and now we're looking at the cryptocurrency bubble. Now here's the thing about these bubbles. During the bubble time, people in the bubble, they will tell you all kinds of reasons why it's not a bubble and why these things are worth so much. Up until they crash, they'll still tell you that they're worth a lot. Same thing with the gold and silver guys. Go look at the old gold and silver bugs. A lot of these guys are saying gold, when gold was like 1,500 the ounce, gold was going to 10,000 the ounce, and silver was going to 500 the ounce, and they crashed. And gold, I think, is what, $1,200 the ounce. A lot of people bought in at 1,500, 1,800 the ounce. Silver, last time I checked, was 14 the ounce. A lot of people were buying at 30, 50, 30, 40, 45, $48 the ounce. Now it's at like 14, and it's not coming back. So keep that in mind. Buyer beware. In my opinion, there is something to crypto technology, the blockchain, but in terms of these individual coins, I would bet that at some point they're all going to be worth zero. So if you're in it, remember to get out. And in full disclosure, because I'm a proper nerd and explorer, I do have miner machines and various money that I expect to lose, money that I'm very comfortable losing. I don't want to lose it, but if I lose the money on the miners, whatever. To me, it's just a tool of exploration. And, when everybody's in this game, you jump in the game, you see what happens, but you don't go in there with money you can't afford to lose and try to look at these cryptocurrencies as pure gambling. Remember that. And that's my tip for today. Do what you will. Oh, at the end of this video, I'm going to have a nice little chart that you can look at. Bye-bye.